It can travel anywhere in time and space.
Right. This is gonna be fun.
Off we go into time and space!
Welcome to Time and Space, the Nerd Party's dedicated Doctor Who podcast. I'm Jessica Nunn.
And I'm her husband and co-host, Phillip Gilfus.
Right, so what have we been doing this week?
I got a package today.
You did. You did get a package today, and the cat sat on it.
Right. But then I opened it and revealed it is my 13th Doctor...
Barbie doll.
It's not the Barbie. There is an actual 13th Doctor.
Oh, there is an actual 13th Doctor Barbie doll.
That is a Barbie doll.
Oh, right.
This is the 13th Doctor. I think it's called Adventure Doll, according to the package.
Adventure Doll.
Which sounds kind of naughty.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that in retrospect.
But I think this was the first one that came out. So this is, a few months old. I don't know how tall it is. I'm looking from across the room here. I mean, like a foot possibly? A little less than a foot, 10 inches maybe or something. But anyway, I'm trying to say how big a ruler. But anyway, so this is the Jodie Whittaker 13th Doctor action adventure doll figure, which is very cool. I mean, the reason I liked it was it looks like her. I mean, things don't often look like the Doctor, so we were going to stick to action figures in Doctor Who. And it's also sort of the real detail. I mean, that's not usually a thing because all my other Doctor Who action figures are plastic or whatever they're made out of. But I mean, this was cool. I mean, again, I am loving her outfit, and so, it was really cool. So
I'm particularly liking the fact that she towers over all the other Doctors.
Yes, because at least I've seen pictures of what the 13th Doctor's action figure, which I think is going to come out next year, looks like, and it looks cool. But it's the whatever size those are, 8 inches maybe. Anyway, the traditional Doctor Who action figure size. So, but I just thought it was really cool and detailed, and so I'd actually gotten a little bit ago. It just took a while to come across the ocean. Yes, across the pond, so this wasn't like I want to ruin Christmas and get myself something. This is when I'd gotten all my other stuff that had come in. A couple, gotten one of your Christmas presents. That also
what
took.
Is it?
Well, it also had to come across the ocean.
Oh, interesting.
So,
is it my friend Nathan? Do you have him in a box somewhere?
And I also got something that your mom was not going to get you, but I got it first. Yes, I win.
Yes, and I'm really curious as to what gift both you and Mom went, oh, that's the thing Jessica needs, that you both wanted to buy it. Mm-hmm. So, Mom suggested it was a motorcycle.
Right.
I don't want a motorcycle, so I don't know why. That was her
we
suggestion.
know you better than you know yourself.
Oh, is that what it
right.
is? It's a pair of rollerblades.
And I've also upped your life insurance.
Fair enough. We also, and this is terrible of us because we didn't do this until yesterday.
Right.
Read.
Yes.
Mr. Doctor 11.
Yes, Doctor 11th from the Mr. Man Doctor series. Yes. Yeah, this month has been terrible. You just changed your calendar, but that's neither here nor there.
Have you changed yours?
It doesn't matter. But anyway. But yeah, November was it was busy for us. It's still...
Very busy.
In fact,
yes.
it's just theoretically stopped being busy for me, but I'm still getting used to the fact that it's not.
And things will pick up again.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've got shows in December and things like that. So yes, the High School Musical that I was directing finished on Saturday. So I spent most of yesterday relatively comatose while you worked on...
And my PhD application is done-ish. I mean, I'm just waiting for people to send in their letters of recommendation, but I've already contacted them, so it's just a matter of them doing it. I'm waiting for my GRE scores to technically come in, and it's all due on the 1st, but that means it's just uploading files at this point by the 30th or something.
Yeah.
I've done all my personal statements and all that stuff, so
I still have a list of things I need to do, but I did not do them today.
We have not done... Well... You've done a little Christmas shopping. You've probably done more than I have.
Yes.
But that's next on the agenda. And, of course, it's American Thanksgiving this week.
Yep.
So there'll be traveling and all that stuff. And then, I don't know what.
Lots going on. And then shows.
But anyway, we've meandered. How was the Dr. 11th book?
Oh, yes. I quite enjoyed it.
Which, because you never know, or at least, I don't cheat or anything. Like, I don't know who's going to be in it other than the Doctor. Which companion, da-da-da. I would not have guessed.
River Song!
Would not have guessed River Song.
Hooray! No, I expected Amy and Rory. if I'm honest. But River Song was an absolute delight
Yes.
to have. And, ironically enough, the entire story is about them off. They've just been through this terrible adventure. That's how the story starts. But the Doctor has forgotten something.
Right.
And so they have to go all the way back through all of the bad guys and the snakes to get...
Silurians.
To get to find
Weeping
their
angels.
thing. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. The thing that the Doctor forgot. And, of course, thing the Doctor forgot was... Spoilers.
A Fez.
The Fez.
Which will come up in our later discussion.
Yes, absolutely.
But, of course, with the 13th Doctor, I had to rearrange our shelf for the part. I'll have to get the rest of our Doctor Who books. I don't know where you put them. But I've put some of them up. We'd done a recent trip. By recent trip, I mean like 3 weeks ago. To Barnes & Noble. And one of my purchases, based on a old birthday gift card, was The Cricket Men by Douglas Adams, which was an Doctor Who idea he kicked around for the most part and never did. So I'm excited to read that.
Yes, I would like to read that when you're finished with it.
So, yeah, so we actually do have a few. And then I don't know where you put all our Torchwood books from the con and all that stuff. So,
I think they're on my desk.
Yeah, so anyway. But, yeah, lots going on. And then before we start, we're continuing to do our Matt Smith rewatch. Mm-hmm. And we did 2 episodes. And I know it's one of the ones you like. The Good Man Goes to War.
Yes.
Which I think that's a good one, too. And then Let's Kill Hitler. I don't like it. I didn't enjoy that episode.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. It sets up a lot of things that I think are important.
Right.
And of course I enjoy River.
Right.
Not as crazy about Mel.
Right.
And not as I'm not crazy about the mixing up of the timeline of, now all of a sudden she's been there all this time.
Right. I guess and I'm not trying to be uber sensitive, but I guess it's well, I was going to say it's a light episode, but that's not true, but sort of the frivolity that Nazi Germany and Hitler is treated with. I mean, again, it's, taking the piss out of Hitler is fine, but I don't know. It seemed a little too light in some ways.
Yeah, and I think it also is setting us up for those little guys who are inside people.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be important later on.
And I guess it always comes back to, having built up at this point in the series, when the Doctor meets River, it is sort of a okay, well, that didn't live up to it. But I don't think anything could have lived up to the way River has always described it, meeting a man who knows you completely and da-da-da-da. And I was like, I don't know, he just whispered something in her ear and that seemed to do it. But I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I do really like the switcheroos.
Right.
Where she goes to shoot him, but he's taking the bullets out of the gun.
That was a cool one.
Then she goes to grab the other gun, but he switched it with the banana and those little bits. And Matt Smith is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Through all of his wibbly-wobbly dying stuff.
Yes. And I did like...
And unfortunately, this time I slept through a lot of it because it was the day after my show closed, and that's my prerogative. So I was a little sad to miss... his physicality is just so beautifully displayed in this one. I really enjoy watching it.
And I did like the flashback to 9-10 Companions, because... the Doctor Who, obviously is always well aware of its own franchise, but it doesn't always go to the recent past. And so that was 11 having to see Rose and Martha and Donna and all those guilt trips.
Yes, yeah.
So I thought that was a nice touch to sort of call back to that.
Yes, before we get to Amelia.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a nice moment.
I'm not a vocal interface. But anyway. So yeah, but all that said, let's get into our discussion, and that is Kerblam!
Series 11, Episode 7, which aired November the 18th.
2018. Would you like to read the synopsis?
That depends. Are you going to interrupt me halfway through? When the 13th Doctor finds a mysterious call for help packaged with a delivery from the galaxy's largest retailer, she and her friends get to work in finding out the cause of the distress. However, is the human 10% of the workforce rebelling against the robots, or is there a much more complicated plot going on?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Kerblam!
Kerblam! So, I'm going to ask you your opinion of overall episode first. Mm-hmm. The Twitterverse, which always is Twittery and versy, seems to be all ways on this episode. People really liked it. People did not like it, which I guess is always the case, which is fine. People always have opinions, and that's great. But I thought it was a little more across the board than like, and we seem to have these sort of like powerful episodes and then powerful episodes.
Yeah,
then,
but I think you can't.
Yeah, sustain.
Yeah.
So
not only can you as a show not sustain it, but as audience members, I'm not sure we could sustain it.
Right. But that said, what did you think of Kerblam?
Yeah, I liked it. It was frivolity in a lot of ways. Some great guest stars. It reminded me a little bit of the Sarah Jane episode with the sodas.
Oh yeah, okay, I can see that.
And so that was there. Is that like one of the
first one? Yes,
where Luke's created out of that. Yeah. So yeah, I kept getting flashbacks from that and kept wondering then if Bradley Walsh was going to reemerge as a ringmaster / clown. So that was a little disrupting to my brain, but yeah, it was all right.
I have to say, this is the weakest episode of the series for me.
I can agree with that.
Well, you'll have to do it.
No, but I that doesn't make it any less fun for me. Uh-huh. But I would agree. Yeah, if I were ranking them, I'm not sure it would be towards the top for me. Certainly, loved the Fez callback a lot. Thought that was a really nice little tie-in.
No, it was a Fez, not a tie.
Oh, right. Sorry. Bow ties are cool, though. Loved the guest stars. I thought Lee Mack was wasted, though.
Yes.
Come on.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
I remember him, and I'm going to get the name of the show wrong. It was like, Are You Lying, or Can You Tell? It was a panel show.
Mean, yeah.
And I remember he was a participant. I think he took over maybe hosting duties eventually. But anyway, that's where I kind of knew him from.
Yeah. I mean, I just know him as a comedian. Mm-hmm. Just sort of all around. Again, he's a little bit like Bradley Walsh. And I've seen him in loads of things, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't tell you for sure what they were. One of those always around British people.
Mm-hmm.
Ubiquitous, that's the word I was looking for.
Well, let's get into it. Because I have to say that I had my issues with this episode, but we'll go through it. So let's go to the actual story, which I call Karl Marx, Eat Your Heart Out. Mm-hmm. It's Evil Amazon, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But anyway.
I think Evil Amazon's probably.
Well, yeah, such as it is. Or Amazon.uk, apparently. So, but anyway, you mentioned Lee Mack. So he plays Dan Cooper, your blue-collar warehouse worker in this. He has an interesting perspective. We have the whole, automation has taken over, but we have this 10% people rule, organics rule, or whatever you want to call it. And he's one of the 10%, and he's, just glad to have a job supporting his children, blah, blah, blah.
Or his daughter. I don't know if he's got more than one children.
Mm-hmm.
More than one children.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm sticking with it.
Is that English teacher, folks?
Yeah. Yes, I am. And he's got the little necklace that says daddy or love or whatever. I don't know.
Just to set it up for the end.
Yeah, and then they just kill him off.
And I didn't understand that. I mean, I understood it, but I was kind of hoping at the end, and this is my naive hope, that they were going to find all the people.
Mine too.
Not here's the goo of people.
Yeah.
That's less
gross.
Exciting.
And more gross.
And morbid and terrible.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was hoping that all the people would be found alive and it would be okay.
At first I thought maybe they'd been turned into the robot people. Because I was trying to think what had happened, they'd been transformed, because they said something, and I don't think it was ever followed up on. Of course, maybe I just only watched this once, and maybe it was something they said something we can still detect that everyone's there.
Yes.
So I'm well, they're still there, but I guess that just meant they're all in the goo.
Yeah, good times. Party on.
Yeah, that just.
I was spending my time trying to figure out who the bad guy was.
Right. Did you get it right?
No.
Nobody ever picks the caretaker.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or me.
That was the point. We also had Judy Maddox, who was played by, I'm going to get the name wrong.
Yeah.
Julie Hesman-Haig?
I think it's an L.
Okay.
Hesman-Hogg?
Yes, anyway. The woman from Broadchurch. cartoon.
Yes,
Who played Head
the
of
woman
People.
from Broadchurch, who has a much lighter role in this one.
Yeah, to an extent, yes. Yeah, oh yeah, no, I compared to Broadchurch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Much lighter role compared to Broadchurch. But it was nice to see her. And then I just wanted to see her interact with Jodie more, you know, because they've had this relationship in Broadchurch. So it was good to see her. Again, the guest stars were a little bit wasted. I assumed for a while that she was the bad guy, and then when she came on board, I assumed that the other executive guy was the bad guy.
Right.
And then when he came on board, I went back and thought, well, maybe it's her again. And yeah, I just assumed the people in power. I didn't see the
robots.
Or the robots.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't see the uprising. But again, I did sort of assume that somebody in the people were controlling the robots.
And the drawing room drama or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Kitchen sink drama.
Well, I'm thinking the murder mystery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With the pipe wrench in the library.
Yeah,
right.
roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, of course, we have Charlie Duffy, who, the Proletariat Rises, who's the bad guy. So, I mean, I don't know. Again, Doctor Who, I try not to overthink it. It just is what it is, and it's entertaining and do it. But, so his premise is, this whole percentage thing is BS, and if we don't do anything, it's just going to shrink, and so I'm going to trash Kerblam's reputation. And
by killing all the people.
By killing their customers,
yeah.
And therefore, ... profit. I'm not exactly sure.
No, I don't know what he thought.
I mean, he's a psychopath, so we don't have to actually go into his logic.
Yeah.
It is literally a mad scientist supervillain plan.
Yeah. But of course, in the process, he ends up killing the girly fancies.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, no, I saw the outline.
Yeah.
But and doesn't get redeemed in any way himself either.
Blows up.
Blows up with the robots and the bubble wrap.
Yeah. Which seemed and I don't know whether to critique it or not, again, because I'm not... up to this point, well, for the most part, the Series 11 has been pretty thoughtful, though, again, not thoughtful when it comes to its villains. So it's sort of a mixed bag of what you expect. Like, in other words, what should have happened, I mean, because just killing the bad guy is pretty simplistic, not much to it, and that's what they did. So, it's like...
Well, and there was sort of a continuity issue for me, because the girl dies with the bubble wrap, he dies with the bubble wrap, Lee Mack does not die from bubble wrap.
Yeah, they sort of... Yeah, I don't know.
And I still wasn't completely sure why they were killing... The employees.
Yeah, like I said, we probably have to watch it again. But yeah, at first blush, it's sort of all this mystery, convoluted, and then it's that guy we never suspected, and he has a plan that doesn't really make sense, but it's going to be really bad.
Yeah, and I do sort of feel like at this point in the series, they should start considering that it's going to be the humans. Mm-hmm. Because it's always, it's always the humans.
So next week, guys, for the witch finders, the bad guy's going to be the humans.
It's not going to be the aliens. The aliens are fine. They're probably just there to watch or hang out or be Pony Boy from The Outsiders, which I'm pretty sure is what the bad guy in Rosa Parks was.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So yeah, I got nothing. It's going to be the humans. # spoilers.
Yeah, in the witch hunt.
In the witch hunt, yeah.
I mean, not the witch finders, but anyway, it's complicated.
Yeah, it certainly won't be the witches.
Yeah.
It might be Alan Cumming.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and again, this was sort of the, as we've been talking sort of off mic, that the Doctor Who Series 11 spends their money on travel, not on actors. I guess, I don't know which is cheaper in the long run, because you sort of have this...
In the number of actors. I suspect they're spending quite a bit on their guest stars.
Well, sure, but, it's sort of like, yes, we're going to a warehouse populated by 4 people.
Yep. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. We do not see a whole
no
lot
extras.
of people.
Not a lot of extras being hired for Doctor Who.
I mean, they're only 10%. So,
are we automating our extras? Actually, it's funny. I won't go into details, but I actually got a message from Miles, who was on the other week, who actually got in contact with a guy who played one of the robots. So, anyway.
Oh,
I
that's
guess
kind
I guess that's not true. There were a lot of extras in this episode. It was all the robots, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
fair enough. Fair enough.
Even then, it was probably only like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
So
Playing all of them.
yeah. So anyway,
Right. Let's talk about Chris Chibnall's death count.
now of course Chris Chibnall did not write this episode. It was I can't remember the writer's name, but anyway. But still, this series has to me a death count that's troubling. Now, I mean, look, Doctor Who has a death count. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh, they're series 1 is, killing people and it's never been done before, because of course that's not true, and other series have killed lots more people. But I think the fact that because it does seem to be like in The Woman Who Fell to Earth, it's like, we're going to introduce this sweet security grandpa guy just to kill him 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And like
Or this fun guy who chucks salad at people, and we're going to kill him too.
Right. And we've gone on to these different episodes and sort of had these, and like in this Saranga, whatever it's called, conundrum. Yeah, we're going to introduce this really cool doctor and then kill him in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, there's reasons to do these for story reasons, but this episode, I think they went out of bounds. I think it went too far. I think with Kira Arlo, who was we're going to introduce this sweet, adorable bunny, and then we're going to stomp on her face 3/4 of the way through the episode.
Look, if they're going to kill the grandpa right after he's FaceTimed his granddaughter in the first episode, all bets are off, big man.
I guess. I mean, like, and I don't want to be this person, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, aren't children watching? I mean, like, it's sort of the things of, like, Doctor Who, of course, started out as a kid's show. And, it's for everyone. But then it sort of turned a family show, an adult show, and then whatever. And then now we're kind of returning to our roots. And then I'm like...
But we keep killing people off.
Yeah.
And again, I
mean, there's a way to do it that's cartoony, or that doesn't, But, like, this was sort of like, we really want you to like this character. We want you to love this character. We want you to be cheering for this character. Oh, she's never gotten a gift in her life.
But that's all been the same. Mm-hmm. The guy from the husband from last week,
Prim.
Yeah, they're moving forward and they're making
changes. We didn't see him
changes.
die in that one.
No, but I'm not sure we had to.
Yeah.
And the doctor in the fun little monster one. Mm-hmm. We do get a little bit invested in some of these characters, and then,
Well, even Grace.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, I now that we've talked about it, is it a little cheap then? I mean, seems like we're going to that well a lot.
Yeah.
The only way to feel like we can get impact on a story is to kill people.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I would have been okay if they'd found them alive.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have a completely happy ending.
Yeah.
Just save one.
Yes, exactly.
Just save one of them.
And I get the logic of the story where the doctor is telling Charlie the psychopath, hey, what you feel is what everyone will now feel. But he can't do that because he's a psychopath. If he could feel empathy, guess what he wouldn't be doing?
Yeah.
So, but I don't understand why the doctor, the story does that so the doctor can say that and he can shed a tear for 2 seconds. But I don't know. I just felt it was a little too far for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you disagree or not, or if you just thought that was sort of regular Doctor Who episode storytelling.
No, I this one didn't strike me as any stranger than any of the others in terms of the deaths. Particularly looking back, there are just a lot of them.
Yeah. And then they were talking about Lee Mack. But again, it was sort of like, oh, it's Lee Mack, and no, he's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and you literally have that amount of time to go through that. He just, I did feel like he was quite wasted on this. But, then I think about somebody like Olivia Colman.
Right, oh, definitely wasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, other than the doctor or a companion, anything else would have been wasted. but
For Olivia Colman, yes.
But even then, it was just a short, if you timed how much time she was on screen.
Yeah.
Or at least awake, on screen.
Yes, yeah. I mean, granted, if she'd been Judi Dench, she might have won an Oscar for it. But.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just something I noticed, and it's another turnoff. Because again, my record is I don't like this episode, and that was one of the reasons why.
Okay.
Because they built it up. Like, I've never received a package, and the package she receives is death.
Yes, it is.
And we all have to watch it.
Yeah. Well, this is what happens when you pop bubble wrap.
Yeah. So
lesson learned.
I hope we all learned a lesson.
Yes.
Is that what we're teaching kids? Is that the lesson?
Yes, because it makes people crazy, I'm sure.
Yes. All right, so I guess let's talk a little bit more about some character moments, because we talked story, we talked why I don't like it. So let's try to focus on some positives here. So we talked Fezes already.
Loved it.
I mean, anything else any moments or character moments or anything else that you liked about Kerblam?
I kind of need you to stop doing that. I loved the callback because we haven't talked about it in a while. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be the focus. In fact, it shouldn't be the focus of every episode. But I like the callback to Ryan's dyspraxia.
Right.
And, talking about going down the chute and being awkward and, things like that. And again, it was talked about in a very matter-of-fact, it didn't actually play any part in the story, but it was there. Which is exactly what it is. And I thought,
it's this is a hard comedic bit to do. They're like, all right, hold on, I got to do it. Okay, now I'm going to do it. Okay, but before I do it, that it's not, it takes, but I think he pulled it off very well. So very well written, well acted about his condition, making a little bit of a comedic moment, but sort of translating like, all right, now I'm going to go. Okay.
Yeah. He's adorable. I love him. I just think he's so cute. So yeah. I liked that callback.
I guess they're really using the CGI or stunt scenes with the little conveyor belt chase scene.
Yeah.
With the trio there. I don't know, seemed a little much. But it was fun. I mean, again, I'm going to just complain about this episode. I'll let you know.
No, I feel like we've changed places because a lot of times that's me with all the nitpicky, and now you're being all nitpicky and cut it out. That's my shtick.
I don't know, I guess... I think I enjoyed the Doctor in this episode. I normally do. Yeah, as usual, it doesn't have anything to do. I mean, well, she did. She had the moment with Lee Mack, right? But again, he died 5 seconds later. So
yeah, she also got very policey with Charlie. Which I quite appreciated.
Oh yeah, I think she had tackled him at one point or something before he ran away.
She got very policey with him, which I liked. Again, just this reminder of who they are in real life kind of thing. Particularly when we spent so much time for Ryan working in this factory where that's what he had done in his real life, quote unquote.
Warehouse worker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I think it was a kind of, not like on the character of Ryan, but yeah, he was sort of a fish in water,
Yes,
I know what to do.
So.
I'll show you where to go.
I got this.
Everything's the same.
I'll tell you what I'm interested in knowing, because they do this whole scan of everybody to figure out where they belong.
Right. I thought there was going to be a funnier bit to that.
Yeah, and then the Doctor switches with Graham so that she can go into the place, which means...
I think with yes. Oh, it was Graham?
It was Graham. And so, it was Graham.
All right.
And so Graham ends up being the caretaker.
Right.
And so now I want to know why the Doctor was going to end up being the caretaker. What was it in her scan?
Yeah, and I thought there was going to be a funny... because the bit was Graham ending up being the character. But I was like, I thought there was going to be something funnier. The thing with Graham, and this is another complaint, I thought he was very broad this episode. Like, he was sort of... When he showed up with Charlie, I don't even know how to describe the character he was being. He was sort of like, all right, what do we do? Hey, I'll bet you, you could show me the... sort of like, what do you do? I mean, I guess it was him being chummy, or at least trying to get his way of trying to get information, but it was sort of like he was sort of like, I guess I was going to say dad jokey, but he's sort of grandpa jokey with Charlie, sort of like being the old guy and be like, I bet you know what's going on around here, don't you? You're the person in charge, eh?
Well, yeah, and
like,
it's a little bit of a combination, down. I think, of grandpa-y and bus drivery. I mean, isn't that what he does, particularly like in the Rosa episode and in the first episode, go to the bus drivers. I got this, and so it felt a little bit like that as well.
But I couldn't tell, because Graham is supposed to be, is he a good liar then? Because in other words, the whole, when he's trying to get the map, and he's sort of like, I could get confused and don't know what to do, or, something else, or, and he's like, maybe you need yeah, that's what I need. I was like, oh, because usually you'd want to show the character, messing up and fumbling a little bit, and where they have to like try to build their story, but like he was really good at it, and so look out for Graham, folks.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And one thing, and I know this might be something better to talk about when we start looking at the whole series, but one thing I've particularly started to notice is the music, the soundtrack music. I mean, not the specialized stuff, but just the regular background ambiance music. So, of course, and I'm going to say his name wrong, the new composer, of course, is Segun Akinola for Doctor Who. Took over for Murray Gold. And I'm trying to figure out whether I like it or not, because it's the same almost every episode of his music. And it's this sort of, and I'm not, ethereal may not be the right word, but it's sort of this different quality of music where it's and I don't know what, I'm saying it all wrong, but like techno or whatever they're using or whatever. It's not synth pop, but it's not like traditional instruments. It sounds something more modern, and it's fine because it makes everything a little more alien and more powerful. But sometimes, because I hear it every episode, I'm like, would it be better if we just didn't have it? Or I mean, like at this moment, because I remember when they were walking up to the warehouse and it starts playing, and I'm like, I bet it's the same one that played during Amazing Race in the Desert. And
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and that's not necessarily something I notice. I'll have to go back and listen for it when we rewatch.
So yeah. So that was. So those are my reasons I just didn't enjoy it. It was, and also there were parts in the story where it seemed like they had a 40-minute story but 50 minutes to fill, and they did this thing that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but to me I noticed that it annoyed me, where they sort of like went into extra detail, whereas in television writing, and then what do I know? Am I a television writer? No, but it would seem to me in television you could cheat a lot about how much you have to explain things and how much you do things. You can kind of just sum up, condense, but like they were not. They were sort of going over in painful detail, like this is what you do in a warehouse, and this is how you do this job, or in this scene, this is what this. I'm like, you could have cut like 3 minutes there for something.
Yeah.
It just seemed a very long episode. It seemed like a long episode to me. I guess that's what it was.
Okay. You did complain that it was an hour and five minutes.
But then you counter-explained why that is.
Yes, that I assume that they are an hour and 5 minutes when they show here because America adds more adverts.
Yeah, because we're obviously watching on BBC America. And because it's, we've gotten into this habit, not necessarily just with Doctor Who, but with anything. We'll sort of like, it's hour and 58, and we're like, how are they going to solve this in 2 minutes?
Yeah.
And then with Doctor Who, it's like, well, they have 8 more minutes left. So
yeah, so we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. I liked it. It was frothy. There wasn't anything intense about it. But I liked it. I'll be honest, I am missing, though, a little bit, and I've said I don't like the overarching stories. I don't like the silence and things like that. But I'm missing just a little bit of that.
Just to keep the condensed, or just to keep the thread.
Yes, yeah. Rather than feeling like one-offs.
Because I'm wondering if, it's hard to do when we're watching this now. Like, could you literally watch these episodes in any order?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it not really mess your flow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Which in some ways is...
there's not even flow. There's not even building of character arcs.
That's what I was going to say. Really. At least character growth, which doesn't have to be... you can still be episodic and still have your characters grow, maybe, and I'm making things up, and again, Ryan's disease shouldn't be fixed, but maybe he's a little more confident. Maybe he knows himself a little bit more. Maybe he and Graham will grow a little bit closer, or maybe they grow more apart. Either way, I suppose.
Or we learn anything about Yaz.
Yeah,
other than the fact that she has a grandma.
Exactly.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm missing some of that. Or that we're seeing a real process with the Doctor as she's figuring herself out. Any of those things, and I'm not necessarily getting that. And
I go back to, and again, this may save it for the series overview, that this is, Miles brought this up, and the more I think about it, the more I'm there. This is very classic Who-y, and that's a neutral term. You can say that's good or bad, about, at least to me, in a lot of ways. Because, what's the character growth of 1 through, 6. 7 had a little bit going on. Doctors,
But you get more of an arc with them, and I know I complain about it, but because they're sort of 4-episode or 6-episode serials.
There's not to do but
yeah.
learn more about the character.
Including one episode that you can completely just ignore.
Right.
So yeah, they are in that they, once they finished those 4 episodes or those 6 episodes, that bit's done, and but you do have more to go on, I guess. I don't know.
Because, there's this one, well, I'll stop doing a series overview here. But
yes,
anyway,
yeah.
But anyway, any other final thoughts about Kerblam? Exclamation point.
No, I think I've said all I'm going to say.
And you're not going to send me a package.
I might. Just bubble wrap.
That was sort of a weird ending. Oh, Graham, don't touch the bubble wrap. Okay, I'll leave it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm just picking. Okay.
Yes, you are. Right, let's go into the library.
When you close your eyes,
I go to the library.
go to the library now.
Into the TARDIS library. We're going to be doing something a little bit different, which is what we always try and do.
We're going way back in time.
To a couple days ago.
Yes.
And that is to the Children in Need telethon special from BBC. BBC One, I guess, technically. That was 16 November 2018 on a Friday. And, there's no synopsis here, of course. But anyway, I
think, the synopsis is there's Pudsey, and he's raising money for, wait for it, Children in Need.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and we touched a little bit about this when we talked about Doctor Who charity specials in a prior episode. But I thought since we had a new Doctor Who clip with the 13th Doctor, with Jodie Whittaker. I mean, she wasn't playing the Doctor, she's playing Jodie Whittaker. We could talk about that and talk larger about Children in Need telethon in and of itself and how Doctor Who's a small part in helping this go forward. So, Children in Need, for those who don't know outside of Great Britain.
Started in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, it is every other year. It rotates with Comic Relief. Mm-hmm. And this one is the more national charity. So all of the money raised for Children in Need stays in the UK, mm-hmm. which is different from Comic Relief, which is global. Yes. You get a lot of UNICEF things and clips of celebrities going to other impoverished countries as well.
This is literally the BBC corporate charity, or lack of a better term.
Yeah, yeah. Hosted by Terry Wogan, famously until his death, because he was beloved. Mm-hmm. So basically it's a lot of BBC folk, different television shows on BBC getting together and doing interesting and different things. And we watched several different. Mm-hmm.
And the way I understand it is that the Children in Need then sort of gives grants to sort of various sub-organizations that then help. So it's sort of a grant fund, so that then other organizations, I guess, can apply to and help out. And so, of course, let's talk about the actual Doctor Who connection. Mm-hmm. A young girl named Anna who had
cystic fibrosis.
Yes, and so she was very young. I don't. Well, at least very tiny. At least I don't know how young.
Yeah.
Not very young. I mean,
8.
Yeah, I mean she's
8,
old
10,
enough to
something
be
like that.
Interesting.
Not secondary school yet, but yeah. But old enough to take herself to the bathroom as necessary, I guess.
Yeah, she got to, along with her older brother, visit the Doctor Who set and studio, for lack of a better word, and got to meet Tazan. And Mandip and Bradley, and go over different things. She got her own 13th Doctor costume.
A little tiny 13th Doctor costume, which was very cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were some cute pictures that I don't think actually were in the special, where she sort of got to visit where all the monsters were and so Ood and Zygons and play around with some of the makeup people and all that stuff there. That was kind of cool. And then, of course, she eventually got to meet Jodie herself and compare, who was in her 13th Doctor costume. They got to compare costumes. And I think Jodie, what little I've seen of when the show was first premiering and she went to different schools and different places, would jump out and surprise. She does seem to have a good way with kids.
Yeah, she was very good with them. Mm-hmm. Both of them. It was cute.
Yeah, and just asking about, of course, like sort of the whole point of this exercise, but asking what it is that she has to live with and what it's like.
How she copes with it.
Yeah.
And the needs, I think, which is obviously the give us money moment of we've got to meet the needs of these children, and so these are some of the needs that they have.
But yeah, looking at the sort of, tub load of pills Anna has to take every day, and then she had the,
breathing
oxygen
apparatus,
because it's a respiratory or mucus or whatever condition. So yeah. So that was, interesting, and I learned a lot. Looking up cystic fibrosis, which apparently, it's not uncommon in children. It's apparently it's getting younger. As far as who it affects, it's getting younger. So now you watched some of the other specials.
Yes, I watched Boyzone Does Strictly Come Dancing, which was a lot of fun. They are not all aging particularly well, which makes me a little sad. I have a deep abiding love for British man bands, whether it's Westlife or, of course, actually Westlife and Boyzone might be quite upset with my use of British there, both being Irish boy bands. And of course the original man band of Take That. So, it was fun to watch them dance around. They did a pretty good job considering they are not all that, choreographed. I did love the fact that one of the guys in the band said that he had 2 left feet, so anytime he went on holiday, he took his flip-flops, and that made me giggle a lot. So, there's a lot to be said for good humor.
You don't laugh at home when I make jokes like that.
I laugh, 45% of the time? Isn't that the deal? That's all you get. And then we watched together the EastEnders / Disney special.
Right.
And there was some great talent there. Some of them also looked as if they might be preparing for their panto auditions. Bless their hearts. When they are finished with EastEnders, off they go to the panto circuit.
And then we did our other Doctor Who connection, and that is with the 8th Doctor Companion.
Oh, yes. I knew there was another one. Yes, we watched Sheridan Smith sing a song.
That's right. Who believe I plays Lucy on the Big Finish 8th Doctor Adventures.
And I, of course, love Sheridan Smith. Was not crazy about the song or the performance, particularly. I was a little sad about that, but never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. I still love Sheridan Smith.
Cool.
And it always reminds me that I really have got to get you sitting down and watching 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps.
There you go.
So that's what we're going to do after this.
And, we have to rewatch the episode and see who's right.
Just that little bit.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to put in our show notes here a link to Children in Need. Because obviously, for the telethon, I don't have it actually in front of me. Though if you bear for just a few moments, they were, successful in their... here it is. Children in Need raised £50 million during the telethon,
which is brilliant.
Yeah, and so, but we're still going to there's obviously always accepting donations, and I'm going to do a personal challenge to you listeners, and that is for every retweet or like that this episode gets, until now that you're listening, until December 1st, 2018, I will contribute $1. So if we get 10 likes and 15 retweets, $15 isn't that much. But the more you can do, the more I will donate to Children in Need. So help spread the word for a good cause. And we'll see where we are on December 1st. I'll let you know in our next show after that how we did.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
So until next week, we will, of course, be talking about the Witchfinders.
And Alan Cumming, yay!
That's right. Now, it would be very interesting since we went into a side discussion during a dinner the other day about the Tudor, or the late Tudor, royalty. And so now James I, we'll get into the Stuarts. So that'll be...
Absolutely.
We were talking about how that all
fell into place.
Yes,
And
having just read one of the books about Queen Catherine. Henry VIII. Yeah,
first wife.
I'm sure there were many Queen Catherines. But anyway.
Well, and Henry VIII had 3.
Yes.
So, yes, the first one.
The true queen.
Catherine of Aragon.
That's right.
Yes.
So anyway. But until next week, enjoy watching, listening, and reading about the Doctor's adventures throughout time and space.
This is BBC Television.